Students, how are you all? Well, today we will start our new chapter, and that is circulatory system. This is the chapter number 6, and the name of the chapter is circulatory system. We know that all living organisms need food and minerals for survival. Okay, now either that are plants or animals, there is a transport system that carries the food and other substances to the various parts of the body, and then the waste products will come outside. This whole phenomenon, this transport system in the animals and human beings is called the circulatory system. That means how blood circulates and food particles, foods and water and another things move from one place to another place of the body. This is called the circulatory system. Now the transportation system in animals and human beings is called the circulatory system, and transportation of which food and other substances. Transportation of food and other substances. The main transport system in human being is the blood circulatory system, which is commonly known as the circulatory system. In the circulatory system, blood carries digested food, water and oxygen to all parts of the body. Okay, in circulatory system, blood carries digested food, water and oxygen to all parts of the body, and it also takes away the waste products like carbon dioxide and urea. Okay, thus the blood circulatory system makes food, water and oxygen available to every part of the body and helps to removing waste materials of the body like carbon dioxide, etc. Okay, here in this figure it is shown that where is heart. Heart is found between the two lungs and just upper the diaphragm. Okay, now next thing is, so in the circulation you know that there is the transport of required materials of the body will move through the blood. Okay, now circulatory system. What is the circulatory system? Here the various organs of circulatory system in human are heart, blood vessels and capillaries. Okay, so heart, blood vessels and blood capillaries. Okay, and blood. So blood is of three types: WBC, RBC and platelets. So these all makes the circulatory system. Blood is also considered a part of the circulatory system. In the circulatory system, the heart acts as a pump to push out the blood. So the blood vessels, that means arteries, veins and capillaries, act as a tube or pipe through which blood flows in the whole body. Now what is blood? Blood is a red colored liquid which flows in the body, okay, through the blood vessels. So blood is a red colored liquid which flows in the blood vessels and circulates in our body. Blood is red. Why blood is red? It is red because of red pigment present in the blood, that is called the hemoglobin. Blood is mainly, it consists of many different cells which performs different functions. Okay, blood consists of four components, and that four components are plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Plasma is a liquid, and red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets keep floating in it. Okay, so red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets float where? In the plasma. Now, the blood is able to transport various substances in the body due to the presence of different components in it. We will now describe all the four components of blood in detail. The first component of blood is, that is plasma. So it contains the maximum percentage. It covers 55% of blood. So 55% plasma is found in the blood, and the liquid part of blood is called the plasma. The plasma is pale yellow sticky liquid, and it is 90% to 92% water there, and 3.5% common salts. And plasma contains dissolved substance such as digested food, water, and waste products. Okay, the plasma contains dissolved substances such as digested food and waste product, and carbon dioxide, urea, etc. Okay, plasma carries water and dissolved substances such as digested food and waste products from the one part to another part in the body. So these products are carried through the plasma. Now, RBC, red blood cells, these are red due to the presence of red pigment, which is called the hemoglobin. And second is white blood cells. The white blood cells are, yes, white blood cells. The white blood cells fight against the infection and protect us from the disease, because white blood cells help to fight against the germs which may enter our body and cause disease. So it will means white blood cells, it will fight against the disease causing factors. Okay, now they make a chemical, white blood cells make a chemical known as antibodies to fight against the infection. So any infection will be there when your antibodies will be weak. Now white blood cells are much smaller in numbers than the red blood cells. That means red blood cells are maximum in numbers than white blood cells. Now platelets are the tiny fragments of special cell. It is formed in bone marrow. Where is platelets found? In bone marrow. Platelets helps in the clotting of blood in a cut or wound. Okay, that means when a person find any cut or any injury, so after some time its blood will be clot. A dark red clotting is there due to the presence of platelets. So blood flowing will be stopped due to the presence of platelets. Okay, now next is function of the blood. What is the function of the blood? So first is, you know that blood performs number of important functions in our body. So some functions are here. First is, blood helps in carrying oxygen and carbon dioxide between the respiratory organs and tissues. Second is, blood helps in carrying the stored food. Blood helps in carrying the stored food and vitamins to the tissue or organs where they are generally needed. Blood also helped in transporting the waste products from the tissue to the excretory organs and regulates the water balance. And blood contains antibodies to fight against the infection in our body. And blood also help in transporting the nutrients and water to all parts of the body from the alimentary canal. Now, next function of blood is it carries hormones from the glands to the parts where it is needed to the action. Okay, and the blood helps in regulation of temperature of any organisms, and the blood makes the equal heat in all parts of the body. Now there are different blood groups here. Do you think and answer? Do you think that all animals have the same components in their blood as human? You will think about it and give the answer. Now, blood groups. What are the different blood groups? So you know that there are 4 blood groups present in human blood, that are blood group A, blood group B, AB and O. So blood groups, that means blood type can vary from person to person. The red blood cells in the body, it contains number of proteins molecules that are called the antigens. So these red blood cells which are present in the blood, these contains number of protein molecules that are called the antigens, and the antigens are foreign substances in the body of human that initiate the production of antibodies. Okay, the antigen are the foreign substances in the body of humans that initiate the production of antibodies by the human immune system. When there will be antigen, then antibodies will be produced. So the antibodies, that are the chemical substance which are made by the human body with response to the foreign substances or antigens. Thus, based on the antigens and antibodies, blood group are also differ. Okay, next thing is the Carl Landsteiner, name of the scientist. Name of the scientist is Carl Landsteiner. He discovered that sometimes during blood transfusion from one person to another person, the foreign blood tends to clump and cause shocks. Why? Actually, this happens when the blood group of 2 humans brings different, the donor and the recipient are different. Hence, it is very important to know the blood groups of different people before any such process. The blood group are differentiated into the basis of antigens and antibodies present in the body. So blood groups are differentiated at which basis? At the basis of antigens and antibodies which are present inside our body. Now, the antigens are found on the surface of RBCs. Antigens are found on the surface of RBCs, and the antibodies are present in the plasma. There are 4 types of blood groups. Now, that's all for today. Remaining part of this chapter We will discuss in our next